Hello, I'm Beth Walda, and today I'm going to be reading from Chapter 16 of Guardians and Graves. Guardians and Graves is the second book in the Moonlit Wings series, so if you haven't read the first book, you might want to skip these readings because there may be spoilers. Let me take a moment to set up this scene too. Maya's been sick and she's had a fever. She's wandered upstairs towards Percival's bedroom, and she finds Mercedes in there talking with Percival, and she stays in the hall eavesdropping. Percival sighed again. He stared up at Mercedes with a deepening sadness. She's found someone else, Mercedes. There's no room for me anymore. She's got someone who suits her better. Mercedes tapped her finger on Percival's lips. Don't say that. It's not true, and you know it. She still loves you. Like me, she's just afraid. Of what? He sounded hopeful. I don't know. But I saw them kiss, he said, like he despised having to speak of such things aloud. She kissed him. But she doesn't love him, Mercedes told him. I'm sure of it. Well, maybe not yet, but she didn't exactly love me right off either. Percival licked his lips. I don't know. I should just step aside, wish her well, and leave her be. But I'm lonely for her. I miss her smiling at me. I miss the way she used to look at me with such trust in her heart. I wish I could hold her again. You know, I always believed in the back of my mind that I was prepared for the possibility that someday something like this would happen. But I wasn't prepared for finding out how she doesn't want me anymore. Hurts. It hurts more than I ever imagined it would. He shook his head. I know it's not very angelic of me to feel such things, and I ought to be ashamed of myself. But there's just that dull, aching pain instead. Here. He paused and placed the flat of his hand over Mercedes' heart. I know you feel it too. I do, Mercedes agreed, covering his hand with her own. It's too late for me. I can't figure out how to fix what I've done. Right now, I just want to move on, try to be happy again somehow. Happy, Percival echoed, sounding like the word was foreign to him. Doesn't seem possible at this point. Mercedes shook her head. It's not too late for you and Maya. There's still hope. The angel blinked up at her. Is there? He tightened his arms around her and gave her a little squeeze. You've lost hope. Why shouldn't I? Mercedes' eyes were watering again. She swallowed as if there were a lump in her throat. Aw, Percy, don't be sad. It'll work out. You'll see. Make it happen. Have faith, remember? She nuzzled the angel's chin. At that, Percival smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Sage advice, he quietly acknowledged, but you should practice what you preach. He raised his hand and brushed back her hair with his long, elegant fingers. Yes, she whispered back, gazing deeply into his eyes. Her hand cradled the side of his face. For a long while they just stared at each other. Then Mercedes' lips parted, and I could see her mouth descending. She turned her head. I believe in love, she murmured, her fingers delving into Percival's thick hair. Then, inspire me. The angel breathed his plea into her ear. Without hesitation she kissed him deeply, settling her lips fully over his in a soft, sliding motion, pulling his bottom lip provocatively into her mouth. Percival moaned and his eyes fell shut. He wrapped his arms around Mercedes' shoulders, holding her against him, and let her manipulate his mouth, willingly accepting her kiss, and then kissing her back with all the sensuality of an aroused lover. I clapped my hand across my mouth to keep from shrieking in protest at the top of my lungs. I jerked back against the wall, clumsily banging into it. I turned and all but ran blind back up the hall into my bedroom and closed the door, feeling like I needed to seal everything out or I was going to explode. I leaned against it, scarcely able to draw a full breath. With my head spinning the way it was, my knees buckled beneath me, and braced up by the door, I started to slide to the floor. When the sobbing came, it racked my body with great, heaving, choking gasps, and the tears came down like rain. That's Chapter 16, Guardians and Graves. Thank you for listening.